Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Doing the Five with your MAPS coaches, Bill Crespo and Jackie Kravitz. Please note this webinar is being recorded and you will automatically receive the webinar recording. If you have questions for your coach, please type them into the questions box located in your webinar taskbar. Following the webinar, if you have any questions about today's call or coaching program, please email us at fasttrack@kw.com. That's fasttrack@kw.com. All right, that's all from me. Bill and Jackie, go ahead and take it away.
Thanks,
Thank
Jasmine.
you, Jasmine.
So thanks for everybody getting on, and I'm sure there'll be other people jumping on as we go. Want to remind you, just for now, for those of you that are on, if you hear my voice and see the screen, can you just put yes in the question area? Just say yes. Just type in yes so I could make sure that everybody, okay, thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
Yeah, good.
Way to go, everybody. You know what
Yeah.
I like about this, Jackie? This is what we call participation. I like
I
this.
know, right? I like this group already. This is going to be great.
All right, guys, so let's start off. Obviously, we'll be talking to you together, Jackie and I, because we're so excited about bringing this program to you. And we spent many, many years as prospectors ourselves and coaching for many years. And Jackie and I have known each other for a long time, and we're
Yeah.
just excited about all this. So let me just give you some little heads up before we start, as people are jumping on here. To stay connected with us outside of today here, couple ways besides jumping into one of our programs is we have a private Facebook page that's called the Prospecting Locker Room. Some of you may be on already, so just make sure before today or tomorrow, whenever you get a chance, ask to be on the Prospecting Locker Room and Facebook. That way we can kind of keep you up to date to techniques and questions that you may have and kind of get a connection with us. And
Yep.
what's that? Clarissa says, hi from Charlotte. That's nice. So the other thing that I want to give you is that we have a YouTube channel that we're just developing. It's in my name now. We're going to change the name to Power Prospecting. But if you go to the Bill Crespo YouTube channel, you'll see it, and you'll see that coming up. But it's going to be called Power Prospecting. So hopefully by the end of the day, we'll have that changed. And I can see everybody jumping in on the on my
On the Facebook.
yeah, look at that. All right, so
That's pretty
guys,
cool.
the other thing that we want to tell you is that before the end today, some of you that decide to move forward with us, we've got a gift for you, and we're very excited about the gift. Not everybody will be able to qualify for it, but just stick with me to the end, and we'll talk about what we can do for you. So as people are
Yay.
jumping on, go ahead.
No. This is just Jackie going, yay, gift.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah. Yeah, we're excited about the gift. So let's
Yeah.
talk about what Jackie and I will be speaking about. We're both going to be talking to you about something that we feel in our heart is a game changer. No doubt about it. It's a
Yeah.
game changer. We've been working on this for some time, and we know that the market is a little bit tougher, that you've got to have better skills. So today we're talking about how to play to win, right, Jackie? How we're going to be able
Absolutely.
to get you to a point where you guys are going to play to win, to beat the competition and sound completely different. And
Yes.
we want to do that so that you, by the end of the year, halfway through the year, that you're not behind their eight ball, that you're actually in front of the eight ball, reaching your goals, because, Jackie, you know how tough it is when you're behind, I just know for me, and when you're working so hard and you got a family to feed, that
Yeah.
when you're behind the eight ball,
And
it's not good.
And I think the challenge is when agents start getting behind on their goals, they start sort of giving up on the goals, and it's still March, it's mid-March. There's, regardless of where you're at right now, you can catch up if you need to catch up, and you can exceed the goals that you've set for the year by following the systems and models and all the great stuff that Bill and I are going to share with you. I am absolutely confident of that.
Yeah. So what's a challenge right now, I think, for most real estate people is that, there's so much out there. And today we want to clarify something that I think is gnawing at real estate people on a regular basis. It's like, what do you do? What do you exactly do when you're behind? What can I do right now to explode my business to the next level, to really buckle down? And I want to, Jackie and I, if one thing that
Yeah.
we're really good at, we're not going to baby you guys. This is straight talk today, guys. We're not here, and neither one of us, our personality is to smooth talk it and baby you through the process, right, Jackie?
Well, and this is what it takes to succeed at a very high level. Bill, your intention and my intention is, like you said, is to tell them what to do so they understand clearly what is it going to take to get where they want to go. That's it.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we know that you're going to be in a certain stage right now. That's frustrating, almost kind of like this lady is looking at right now. What do I do? It could be that, hey, I don't have enough appointments right now, Bill. What do I do? Jackie, what do I do? I don't have
exactly
enough leads. It's so funny. You got all these different products out there that are coming after us to give you leads that we should be owning ourselves. And some of this is not converting. I tell you, here's the next one, Jackie, that I know is just, that's really bugging a lot of people, and it's, has to do with yourself, is a lack of consistency.
Absolutely. Whether it's a lack of consistency in their prospecting and lead generation, or a lack of consistency in their lead follow-up.
Yeah, either way, that's going to hurt you in your business. So today we're going to give you the roadmap to get out of the situation you're in. So make sure that you take good notes. Write down some hints. If you got any questions as we continue to do this, please type in your questions, because we want to be able to give you the feedback. And somebody said feedback going on. Sometimes your speakers may be giving you feedback, so stick with us. Oksana says, hey, lead follow-up is the key. No doubt about it. But here's what happens. You're in this industry that we have been in for some time. I've been in it for a very long time, and there's all this stuff that's thrown at you of what to do. And here's the challenge. Do you try it all? I mean, really?
Well, and the thing is, Bill, with so many, I'm sorry to interrupt you, with so many, like you said, so many different things being thrown, do this, do that, buy leads here, this, it's confusing.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, how do you know what to do?
Yeah, and then it's almost like a buffet. That's why I put this picture up there. Jackie and I know that if you go to a buffet table and you eat it all, what's going to happen to you is that you're going to get sick, right? If you
absolutely.
Unfortunately, in real estate, if you buy it all, if you do it all, if you're totally in all these different directions, sooner or later, unfortunately, the return on your investment is not there, and then end up you're going broke. And some of you right now need that. To understand that. Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, too, that if you're buying leads from any source, and you and I talked about this, Bill, the leads are only as good as your ability to convert them. So you got to focus on developing great skills. You got to look at that, because otherwise, it doesn't matter how much money you spend or where the leads are coming from. If you're not able to convert them, you're back to square one. Sick and broke, and that's not what they're. Hey, you know what I know, Bill? The agents that are listening to this webinar today, they're looking to have that breakthrough. That's why they're here. So
yeah, and getting away from what happens to our business. So by trying things and doing all this stuff, you get into this little up and down movement in your business, right? Which we call the real estate roller coaster. You've got money, you don't have money. You're happy, you're sad. You're going, oh my gosh, I should have never got into the business. Hey, you know what's funny? I remember, we all been there. We've all been to that point where it's not working out. And you look at someone going down there going, that guy digging the ditch over there, that doesn't look too bad when things are going bad for you. So we don't want that to take place. You guys have families, you have bills, you got taxes, you got all this stuff, and you got big dreams and big goals. We want you to accomplish that, but you've got to decide today whether or not you're going to stay with everybody else and do what everybody else is doing, or you decide to move into a different direction. So the obvious question then, the obvious question that we have to ask ourselves is whether or not you know what to do. What do you need to do? Now, some of you, I want you to, before we move forward on that, I want to ask you that question. What do you need to do? A couple of you, I want you to type it in right now. What do you need to do to get your business to that next step? Can a couple of you type it in? Look what Melody says, get organized and systematize. Valerie, make call. Cheryl, look at all these people. Be consistent.
Convert leads.
Yeah. Sarah, good job on that. Wow. Hey, you know what, Jackie? This is the best group we've had doing this.
I know. Look at that. Lead follow-up, feedback. Yeah, feedback going on. Now it stopped. Okay, good. Yeah, see, we talked about the feedback and it's gone.
Maureen,
very participatory. So this is awesome.
This is great. Yeah. So look, thanks. We got the right group on today. So then with all of these
Yeah.
things that you're saying to yourself, focus, consistency, Christopher, Eleanor, again, consistency. You can see how the same thing, everybody basically has the
Yeah.
same issues. Set up a system
Yeah.
for follow up, Sarah says. So then the question then becomes, what will you do different today? We've got all these things
Yeah.
that we've got to do. We can only do things one at a time, but we've got to do it not like the buffet table where you're going to eat it all up and get all sick, right? We got to do it one step at a
Yeah.
time. So
That's right.
what we're going to decide today is you're going to take the slow route or you're going to take the fast route. Okay, the trial and error where you're going to try all these things out. We've been there. You know, you trying
Yeah.
to figure out the secrets that people have. And a lot of times what worked for someone else will not work for you because that person is that person. And
Yeah.
sometimes we just have
Yeah.
to put some fundamentals in. Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah. And you were saying, Bill, earlier, I actually was thinking about it over the weekend, and it was kind of like, whoa, Bill and I are that old. Because you were saying we've been doing this. Yeah, we've been doing this for a long, long time. You and I have sold a lot of real estate. And combined, Bill, I don't know if you thought about this, we have over half a century of experience in this.
Hey, don't tell anybody
That's,
that.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, and this is why we feel like we're able to provide you with exactly what to do, that we know and we're confident it will work for every single one of you. So that's
Yeah.
what this is about.
Yeah, so you guys, as you putting questions on here, we're going to ask you for some questions. So think about things you want to ask. So here's what we want you to do today. And we've got a good group on. It's interesting how half the people who sign up come on, but I believe that you guys, the way you're participating right now is like unbelievable. So we got the right group. So here's what we're asking you today, not tomorrow, right now, this second. We want you to put a line in the sand and draw the line. Either you change or you stay the same. You make that commitment to find the right new ways to do it, or you stay in your old ways. And I'm going to tell you right now, the way the market is going, you've got to make some decisions. And it could be painful. It could be painful. There could be some pushback in your mindset. And this is where we're going to go. We want to take it to the next level. And look, hey, look at who's that who wrote that in there? She says, Nikia, hey, their old ways are gone. We're now good. I love it. Yeah. Look, Oksana, I got listen, guys, you have the power within yourselves. And this is not a motivational speech. This is outright the fact. All right. There is a better approach to this business. And if you do what everybody else is doing out there, I guarantee you this, you're going to lose. Because 90 to 80% of the people that are out there in real estate today are doing it the wrong way, or they're holding themselves back to a little bit of money. And they could do so much for themselves and their family. So,
no wonder real estate is so transient, right? Agents come into the business and get out of the business within a few months or a couple of years because they're not making money. So we're here to show you how to have not only a very successful and profitable business, have longevity in real estate too.
Yeah,
that's what it's about.
And Cheryl says, how should I lead generate that's different from the other? That's what we're going to talk about today, how to do it. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 things that you're going to have to do in this business consistently to make the money you need to make so that you feel like this girl. Yes, I'm in control. I'm making the money. I'm happy. I didn't tell you this, Jackie. Today, I was interviewing a couple that he's been in the business for 5 years. She was a Starbucks barista. They started prospecting together. All they're doing is prospecting, the stuff that we talk about. They listed 6 houses in 1 week off of expires and FSBOs. That was it.
Oh my gosh, I love hearing that. I know it's possible. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Absolutely, 100%.
So
love to hear that.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about doing the 5. And Jackie's going to talk about today, when we get done here, how to do the 5 things so that you have more leads, so you have more appointments, so you have consistency of income. And better than anything else is that you have time for your family and you have time to do the things that you want to do. And it can be done just like this couple. They've got 2 little kids. They're young. He's been in it for 5 years until he started focusing that things transform in his life. And now they're saying there's no way that they're going to concentrate on anything else. And they don't spend a lot of money. It's on that phone making calls and converting expires and physical. So Jackie, I'm going to let you take it from here on doing the 5.
Yeah, beautiful. So here's the first thing we want you to write it down. Bill, by the way, I don't see that because not everybody here has the worksheet yet. So is there a way that we can, I don't know if you could upload it while,
No, we can't
chatting,
upload
or
it.
we can do it at the end.
Hey guys, write this email down, and I'll send it from my side. Write BC, B as in boy, C as in cat, at path, PATH, the number 2 PRO.net. So it's going to be BC at path2pro.net. And just say, if you don't have it, just send me doing the 5, and we'll send the worksheet out. We're going to show it to you in just a little bit. Jack is going to go over this, but I'll send it to you, and we'll remind you again. So go ahead, Jack.
Yeah. So in doing the 5, the first thing we want you to write down is you have to maintain 5 A prospects in your pipeline at all times. So 5 A prospects means 5 prospects that are going to buy a property or list their property within the next 30 days. So at any given time and any moment in time, you gotta have 5. So let's say you have 5 today and 1 lists their property with you today. You gotta replace that one. So your focus, this gives you a lot of clarity because your focus is to maintain that. So as you convert them, you replace them. And then here's a great idea because I love visuals, Bill. Visuals can really keep us on track. List your 5 A prospects in a whiteboard. Have a whiteboard in your office so you're looking at them all the time. And that also gives a lot of clarity in terms of who are your hot leads, right, Bill? You're looking at those names. You know they're buying or selling in the next 30 days. You know you have to replace them when you convert them. And you know what the 5 most important leads and prospects that you have are. So get a whiteboard, put it in your office. The Doing the 5 worksheet, if you have it, great, because you can use that also. We encourage you to also have it on a whiteboard.
Yeah, and let me just touch on that.
Bill?
Yeah, I just want to say that what's interesting is that if you don't really know what an A is, like for instance, someone says to you, hey, I'll buy tomorrow if you can find me a house for $150,000 on 5 acres with a pool and whatever with 3,000 square feet, that's not an A, guys. That's something that's unrealistic in the marketplace. So the qualifying, that A becomes the A for the market. The A's could change depending on the market condition, but make sure that you have someone who's legitimately buying something that they're ready to go. Because I can tell you right now that you could be driving someone around as a glorified Uber driver for months and you think it's an A and it's ends up being a Z or something less than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and this whole qualifying conversation too, Bill, are things that obviously in all of these different power prospecting stuff that you and I will be doing, we'll help him with that too. Here's the second one. It might be your favorite of the Doing the 5. Prospect 5 consecutive days, 5 days consecutively a week for a minimum of 3 hours. Now, here's my preference, right? You're going to prospect 5 consecutive days. Guys, some of you may not even believe that this is possible. You can do this Monday through Friday. You don't have to be working weekends. When you do it correctly, when you follow the stuff that Bill and I teach, you don't have to be working weekends. You can lead generate. You can prospect Monday through Friday, 3 hours a day, and do it efficiently. You and I talked about this, right, Bill? It's not 3 hours where you prospect for 15 minutes, then you respond to emails for 15 minutes, then you take a 15-minute break to get something to eat, and then you come back for 5 minutes and you call that an hour. That's not how this works. We want to stay focused and work effectively and efficiently 5 days a week consecutively. And guess what, Bill? I don't care if they're freaking out right now and they hear this. You and I know, and you know that you can do it.
Yeah.
Okay. And this
You
is,
can't be a
yeah,
crybaby.
yeah, no. This is the grown-up program here. Okay. This is not like, well, really, and how am I going to do it? You can do it. We know for sure you can do it. And a great way to stay on track, just like we talked about the visual, Bill, having that whiteboard and list the 5A prospects, it is so inspiring to actually track your consecutive days every week on a calendar. So you should have a calendar in front of you, and you should be tracking the 5 days. You put a check mark on there, you circle, you put a star. It's motivating and inspiring. I used to do all this stuff, by the way. I know you did too, Bill. So we know it works, right?
It's like a dopamine is extracted out of your brain, however it's done, and you feel really good about doing it. And I want to answer two questions that we had. Carol asked the question, and Julie. No doubt about it, we both agree that if you're going to have the leverage you need, it's going to have to be seller-based business. It can't be driving buyers around all day. You're going to have to do some buyers at the best qualified buyer to be able to put something on a contract quick, but you're going to have to center your focus on sellers. That's the only way you're going to have the leverage that you need. Yes, you can hire people, you can do this. We're talking about giving you that advantage over the competition. And then another question came up from Julie about doing this. So listen, we want this not just be something that you do for a short amount of time, no doubt about it. Make it a habit. We've known people, Jackie and I know some of these same people. We did it. We were just doing it. Not because we're that smart, because we knew this is the way we're going to survive in this business. This is the way we're going to be able to pay our bills. So you're going to have to do this and make it a habit. Let's go to the next one.
That's right. Yeah. So the next 5, watch. Number 3, call 5 centers of influences or past clients every day as part of your prospecting sources. So every single day, 5 people that are in that database of yours that are past clients and sphere of influence. And here's the deal, Bill. This is so easy to do, really. It's just 5 a day. How easy is that? They're going to prospect for 3 hours a day. You can talk to 5 past clients in sphere in maybe 15 minutes. Maybe these conversations are going to be a little bit longer. And it's a great way to create that consistency. And Bill, you also said you can call them or you can talk to them face to face, right?
Yeah, you can do that face to face. One of the things that I want to make sure that you know, that this disease that agents have, sometimes we get so addicted to prospecting, we forget about our database. Call those center of influence past clients. You know, I'm like yes, hi Bill. You know, like there's a AA group. But you know, we actually know that database is important. You're going to have to mix it up, but we just said 5 of those people, and they want to hear you. And let me go back to one other thing. Even if you had a bad situation with someone, they're not thinking about you for all these years. Okay, they haven't thought about you. Call them back. And let me give you a quick script on that I just remembered. I should have said this before to you, Jackie, but hey, I was just thinking about you the other day. If you start off with that, hey, I was just thinking about, that breaks the ice real quick. Real quick.
Absolutely.
I was just thinking about you the other day.
And you know, Bill, you said I am guilty of not calling past clients in sphere of influence when I was selling real estate. And the advantage that you and I have with all of the years and the experience that we have is that everyone listening here and everyone involved in coaching with us, they can learn from the things that we did that work really well, and they can learn from our mistakes too, because I've told you this before, Bill, not actually calling and prospecting my past clients and sphere of influence is the number one mistake I made. I focused on FSBOs and expireds only. Great. I made it my one thing. It worked out for me. And yet when I look back, if you ask me what is the biggest mistake, if you were starting over today, what you would do differently, that's that point right there. It's number 3.
So watch this. Watch this. Any of you guys have the same problem? I just want you to write same on there. Just type in same.
Right.
If you guys are not calling your database regularly, look at this.
Yeah.
So everybody, So people don't feel
Oh,
bad.
look at that. And
Thank you.
all right,
Hey,
good. See,
yeah,
I know I don't feel alone all of a sudden.
yeah,
Okay, so we got it.
guilty,
Yep,
guilty. Okay, so look, we all know we're
absolutely.
like this. All we're asking you to do five. This is the five most important things we're talking about in your business. Thanks for being honest, everybody, and putting that in there. And you know,
Yeah,
the fact of the matter is we're all the same. But once
yeah.
you take your business to that next step, it's unbelievable the changes that's going to take place. So here's the next one.
All right. Whoa. I get excited about this, Bill. You know, right? You know what's coming here. So watch. Prospect, prospect at least 5 sources per week. Your database is one of them. That one doesn't change. Every week you're going to call. Every day you're going to call 5 people from your past client sphere of influence. And that's not going to be the only people you're going to call. You're not going to put all your eggs in one basket. You're going to prospect at least 5 sources per week. And
Drum
I
roll, please.
highly, yeah, right, yeah, right. I highly recommend that all of you figure, and I'm so passionate about Facebook, and I want to help you fall in love with for sale by owners because there is no, in my opinion, Bill, there's
Mhm.
no better source. I mean, there's some other great ones. Past clients say, yeah, I get that. And yeah, think about this. What is the reason why they prospect, Bill? What's the number one reason? What are they looking for? What are we looking for when we prospect?
I mean, you know what we're looking for. I mean, when if
Yeah,
you're looking for those leads that are going to convert, and you're going to set those
yeah,
appointments to get out there.
absolutely. Yeah, and to find a lead that you can convert, preferably, listen, your buyers, when you have a ready, willing, and able buyer, get them out there and sell them a house. And the single best source of buyers' leads are listings, seller listings. And so the goal is to find someone who wants to sell. Guess what? Every FISBO you call wants to sell and they don't have an agent yet. That's the reason why you should fall in love with this lead source and make it one that you're consistently calling. Now, do you have to? Could you find some other lead sources? What's the next one, Bill?
Yeah, and just to go back on FISBO just for
Expired.
a second,
Yeah,
is that this
yeah.
the day I never let a FISBO bother me anymore is the day the guy said to me, the only reason why I'm a for sale by owner is because I'm looking for a good agent to list my home.
Wow.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine
right.
that? So let's go to
Absolutely.
expired.
Absolutely. Well, and here's the thing too, Bill. 80% of FISBOs, no matter what they tell you when you call, because if you call them within the first day or two that they put the house out as a FISBO, I mean, these are pretty confident people. No matter what they say, 80% of FISBOs nationwide within 3 weeks are listed with an agent. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
that's where
know,
it's at.
and we got to face the facts, guys. And we're going to get no's. You're going to get more no's than yeses, but we have to
Yeah,
sift through this. It's almost like panning for gold, right? You throw all this dirt on top, you put the water through, and you shake
yeah,
the thing up, and all comes out as a couple nuggets. We're looking for those nuggets, and you have to get yourself tougher to be able to make these calls. Now, we're also going to say a couple of other things that you could add to your mix because if you're needing to catch up, you're going to have to do this.
right. Yeah. Expired listings are amazing, right, Bill? We barely touched on expired. Expired listings are actually easier for you to list faster than FISBOs. Okay, FISBOs might take a little while longer. And open houses, when you do that, when they do them correctly, right, Bill? Because
Mhm.
there's a way to do it where you're gonna get a lot of traffic through your open house. And then what do you do with that when people walk in? And we're gonna teach you what to do with these open houses so you can have a high rate of success. And Bill, we talked about this before.
Yep.
70%, 70% of the people that walk into an open house call on a sign, inquire about a property that they see online. According to NAR, 70% of them have a house to sell before they will be able to buy. So
Right.
think about that when you're doing open houses, right?
I think it's important to understand that let's get those odds in our favor. We want you to crank up
Yeah.
what you're doing. I will guarantee you that most of you right now are not focused on the things that have to be done on a regular basis, not just every leap year. We've got to do this
Right.
thing every
Every leap
day
year.
and focus. And the other, and then,
Yeah.
I've told some of my clients, Jackie, the other day that, we want to
Yeah.
make it also fun. So when you're out there, you still got to network.
Yes, absolutely. And here's the thing, Bill. I love this point because it's it, the goal here is to make sure that as a real estate agent, you're not a secret agent. There are people everywhere we go, every single day. There are people everywhere. So networking in regards to every possibility that you have. And we're going to talk about a different type of networking in a minute. This is just getting out there and start having conversations with as many people as possible. And you could have some target groups here, right, Bill? We talked about
Yeah.
last week, we were talking about vendors. I mean,
Yeah.
there's just so many possibilities of people to network with.
I want to
And
share
then,
a book
yeah,
that if everybody just write this down, guys. The lady wrote a book just recently about how to build your dream network. I've read it.
hmm,
It's a great book, but it's more contemporary for this type of social media technology age. The book is
hmm,
called Build Your Dream Network, written by J. Kelly Hoey, Hoey, last name. Pick it up. It's a paperback, good book, but she really gets specific when you're networking, how to actually get in front of the people and be purposeful when you're there to build that network up. Because we're going to do
yeah.
all 5 sources at maximum potential, not just halfway, but all the way, which means you're going to have to put more time into it.
Well, and here's the thing, Bill. We are asking them to prospect 5 lead sources per week, and they don't have to be the same ones every week. And we're giving you a lot of options. Yeah, Bill and I are passionate about expireds and FSBOs. The database is not going to change. That's going to be a consistent one all the time. The other 4, yeah, you can
Yep.
change it up. And at the same time, Bill, we talked about this. I believe that agents have to make choices on what they're going to focus on, and they have to stay consistent with a certain source that they choose for a while. Because guess what? If you say, all right, this week I'm going to call FSBOs, and every single day you call FSBOs and it's the first time you're ever contacting them, and you don't take a listing, then you say, well, that's not going to work. I guess next week I'm going to do something else. It doesn't work like that.
Mm-mm.
Consistency is key. You're going to have to stick with whatever you choose for a while in order to see the results. Yeah?
Yeah. So we picked up, I guess we let me it went away from us here. Let me go back. We're talking
Yeah.
about geographic being an
Yeah.
area where you're going to focus on, because as you're doing your just listed or just sold calls, you're dealing in a geographic area if that's what you want. We could also go with this one, which is demographic, which is if you're dealing with attorneys or you're dealing with doctors or
Yeah.
dentists or things like that. It's up to you, but let's really penetrate a demographic or a geographic market also, so that we can own it and command the attention of that, so that you look influential, that you look like the expert and the advocate that needs to be done for that neighborhood or for that particular group.
And by the way, Bill, with whether it's networking, geographic, demographic, I want to make sure that they understand that what we're proposing here, it's not that they spend money. If you think about a geographic area and you say, okay, well, I'm going to have a geographic farm, so now I'm going to have to spend all this money and sending out stuff. Look, again, it's the buffet style thing, right? Throw some
Mhm.
money here, throw some money there. You can get a tremendous amount of business from a geographic area, a certain demographic or networking by mastering your sales skills and your prospecting and know how to have powerful conversations with people without having to spend money and throw money all over the place, right?
Yeah, and you know what? Julie says something here. She goes, it's very hard to stay with it when you don't see results fast enough. So when you're doing
Yeah,
5 different sources, you're going to get
yeah,
something. It's almost like putting your money in different funds. You're going to have a time where expires and FISBOs are really kicking it. You're only going to get so much in different sources, but you have to stick with it. You know, I
you
remember
got,
Zig
yeah,
Ziglar talking about priming the pump. You know, people pump for that well and want that water to come up, and they quit right before that
yeah,
water hits the ground level and comes out of the spigot, and they give up. Don't give up,
yeah,
guys. You got to stick with
yeah,
it. Don't give
yeah,
up.
absolutely. Yep.
So,
That's where the consistency comes in. And here's the last five, right, Bill?
yep.
Add 5 new names to your database every week. How easy is that? That's just one a day. One a day. And there's so many different possibilities where watch, you're going to be prospecting for 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. On those days, out of the 3 hours you're prospecting, you're going to find just one person that you can add to your database every day. And they can come from so many different possibilities, right, Bill?
Yeah, you can go to the as you're getting your car done. Here's what happens. We don't want to get in that mode because we're outside of the regular environment that we're in real estate. You're in a situation, whether you're at a dealership, getting your car repaired, you do have to get in the role of a real estate agent or an advisor and put your hand out and
Yeah.
meet the people. We can't, as Jackie said, become a secret agent.
Yeah. There's so many possibilities of people you can add to your database, right? I'm sure everyone here, once a week or a couple of times a week, they're in public situations like a restaurant, a grocery store. You all go food shopping every week, or you go to the mall, or you go shopping for yourself or for a gift. And here's the thing, there are people everywhere. And what's exciting about this, and I want everybody to write this down, Bill, because I don't want them to forget, okay?
Mhm.
Every human being that you run into, that people you know and people you don't know, 5 times a year, they're having a conversation with someone who's buying or selling real estate. The average person in North America has an average of 5 conversations a year with someone who's looking to buy or sell. So think about that. The more people you talk to, the better chance you have of engaging in a conversation with a complete stranger, and they say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe, my sister just was talking over the weekend about the fact that she needs to sell her house right now," or somebody at work or somebody at church. The thing is, you gotta put yourself out there, and you gotta start asking, because if you don't ask and you approach and talk to people, they're not gonna, they don't know what you do. They're not gonna come and approach you. So a tremendous amount of opportunity there, Bill.
Yeah, and I think that you need to understand that how do we now do all this? How do we put it all together? And we know the frustration and the distractions, and some of us need to take our Ritalin sometimes before we do our prospecting. And I mean, there's lots of distractions. So we designed, some of you already have it. If you don't, you have to email me and I'll send it to you, the Doing the Five sheet
Yep.
to get yourself focused on what to do. This is about the easiest thing to use to actually keep yourself doing the things we just talked about. So again, if you want, I'm going to go over this with you right now and how to use it. It's B as in boy, C as in cat, at path, P-A-T-H, the number 2 pro.net, and just say, send me Doing the Five worksheet, and I'll send that out to you today.
This worksheet is so amazing. I look at this and like one piece of paper, you have everything that we just talked about, and it helps you stay focused and be really clear on what you need to be doing every week. So,
Yeah. So, okay, someone
yeah,
said, can you give it again? It's B as in boy, C as in cat, at path, P-A-T-H, the number 2, P-R-O for pro.net, BC at path2pro.net. So let me go over how this works. So we know we got 5 things we have to do. And Jackie, you might want to go over this one that we just said so they
yeah.
understand.
Yeah, right here, you're going to every day of the week. So you plan over the weekend. You take a few minutes, and on every day of the week, you write down the names of the 5 past clients or sphere of influence that you're going to call each day. So you put their names right there. You know, Bill, I'm sure you've experienced the same in all of the years that of experience we have with coaching. One of the biggest challenges that I know agents have is they run out of, and at least I've heard this so many times, they run out of people to call. They're not organized enough. Who do I call next?
Right.
So
Right.
that the each of the 5 past clients here that you're going to call every day, you're going to list their names there before the week starts. So there's no question, no doubt about who you'll be calling. The same thing with the
Right.
5 lead sources. I actually flipped it around, right?
Right.
List your 5A prospects. So the 5A prospects are the same people that you're going to put on that whiteboard. 5 people that need to buy or are going to buy or sell in the next 30 days. So you have their names on there. And when you convert one, you know you have to replace it. You're going to list your 5 past clients here right there. And the next block, Bill, you want
Let
to
me
talk
explain
about that?
something. Yeah, before we go any further, just to get some clarification here on this, you're going to have your 5 A's. Now, like say it could be the Smith, the Joneses, the Rodriguezes, whatever, and maybe for 2 days you maintain them. You might have to carry over the same names, and maybe on the 3rd day you list them. That block is empty. You replace it, but you'll probably carry on these same people, or at least some of them, throughout the week. On the past clients, you're going to add different names to call. So you don't have to think about it. I got to call Jackie. I got to call Bill. I got to call whoever it is on that day. And there'll be a set. So really, you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 of your center of influence past clients you can call a week, which at the end of the year, that's a lot of people you've called. And that keeps your business moving forward.
Yeah, super easy, right? If you use this, it makes it really easy. And then on the bottom here where you see it highlighted in blue, list your 5 prospecting sources for this week. So again, you know exactly who you're going to be focusing on. You have your numbers ready. You know exactly what you're doing. So you don't prospect for 1 hour and say, oh, I ran out of phone numbers. I'll pick it up again tomorrow. That's not how it works. It's going to take consistency.
Yeah.
And then the very last block, right, Bill?
Actually, we're going to go from there and we're going to go up to here.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Let me change it. There we go. Can you see that? So we're going to add the 3 hours and check it off. So every day as you're prospecting, you're going to check off, did I do 1, did I do 2, did I do 3 hours? And just check them out. If you want to put the number of contacts you did there, that's up to you. The idea here is, again, based on the psychology and the physiology that goes on. When you check off things, you create an endorphin, a drug that comes out of your head that goes, that felt good, I want to do it again. So the whole idea is that we keep the engine moving. We don't stop the engine. It keeps moving and keeps moving. And then you see that over a week's time. Now, let me go step back. For those of you who haven't done 3 hours, I know it's overwhelming. Well, what if you do 1 day, 3 hours? And then the next week you do 2 days, 3 hours. And next week you do 3 days, 3 hours. I know it takes time to take steps, but let me tell you something. As Jackie said, we're not going to baby you guys. We need to move this thing forward fast. You can't be sitting on your butts crying about the fact that I got to do 3 hours. We got to get going on this, right, Jack?
Absolutely. And hey, this is a sales job. You got to be talking to people every day, and the quicker you get to it, the quicker you get off the roller coaster, right, Bill? I like to get paid every month. I know you too, and I know everybody here wants to get paid every month. This is what it's gonna take to make it happen.
Yeah, and then at the bottom, as you look at this thing, you're going to be adding names. This is where you add the names. Excuse my kindergarten-looking letters that I wrote there. You know, those are the names that you're going to be writing in that you've added to your database. Because I think, listen, we've been there where you forgot to call your database and you're forgetting to add. Well, that's a huge part right now of the way the business is run. That's a big change from when we were on there, that the fact that you're creating this network of people that know you. You're the fan. You're like the star of the show. You guys cannot be secret agents, as she said. We got to get ourselves out there, which means we got to build that network up of people.
Yeah, beautiful. Super easy. I love this worksheet so much. This is great.
Yeah, and I actually made it easy for everybody. I actually gave you my personal email address. I also give you, here's another email address in case you guys want to go ahead and find this worksheet. No problem sending it to you. There's a lot more going on in this whole aspect of doing the 5. And you just got to know you have to start today. We said draw the line and start today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Kick it into gear today. Right? You guys have dreams and goals. No more whining. No more freaking out. Oh my gosh, Jackie told us to do something, and I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. Jackie goes, what kind of animal?
Oh, you can do it. You can do it. I don't know. It's super cute. Whatever it is, I like it. It's adorable.
What time? Oh, so Eleanor says, what time is too early? There's some rules around the country on when you can prospect. The point is, start your day early. Get your juices running. Yeah. Get up. You're going to have to stretch. You're going to have to get a little bit uncomfortable, and that's where you know that you're growing. So in other words, what we've decided to do to help everybody to get better, we've studied this, we've put together the program, and we want to explain to you what we're going to be doing real soon for everybody. And Jackie, you may want to talk a little bit about the fact that we designed this program, the Power Up Prospecting program, to touch base on all these things we talked about and more.
Oh yeah. You know what's exciting about this is, Bill, we talked about this. If any of you were at family reunion, Bill and I had a breakout session, and we're gonna coach you and teach you through the right approach, so that there are different ways of approaching your prospecting, how to have powerful conversations, and how to get appointments set, and how to go out and take well-priced listings. That's what this entire Power Up Prospecting is about. And by the way, the program starts on April 23rd. We gave you enough today to get started right now. You join us, you sign up for, and don't wait till April 23rd to actually get started. You take this doing the 5 worksheet and all the information that we gave you today, and you get started immediately. And then you join us, and this is going to be, by the way, 1 hour a week. And these are going to be webinars, 1 hour a week. You're going to be with Bill and I, sometimes Bill and I, or Bill or I, and we put this together so that every single week we're communicating with you and teach you and coaching you to get to your goals fast.
All right, so let me say something right now. This is where people freak out when we talk about it. We have to tell you about the program, and a couple of people leave because they go, oh my God, they're selling us something. Listen, we're giving you something here that we've poured in our life into this because we know it's going to help you and your family. Here, let me give you some sample subjects. We're got to get you in the right mindset. So the prospecting mindset is going to be something that we're going to be talking a lot about. Jackie's been doing it. I've been doing it. We want to get you in the right mindset to do the things you've got to do. You're going to talk about with us the lead sources and tools specifically. We gave you some hints, but we're going to show you how to do it much more effectively. We're also going to talk about creating influence, authority, and expertise, because sometimes when we're talking on the phone, we don't sound commanding, right? How important is that, Jack?
Oh, it's everything, because when you think about it, I believe, Bill, that people in general, not just people who are looking to buy or sell real estate, they're looking to be led. They're looking to be led by someone that they feel they can trust, someone that knows what they're doing. And that requires you to be an expert. That requires you to speak with authority and be able to influence people. That's everything in selling. So we're going to help them develop all of these skills. And they're learned skills, by the way, right? I don't know about you, Bill. When I got a real estate license 23 years ago, I had never sold anything to anybody, and I knew nothing. So if I was able to have a successful real estate career and learn all of this stuff, anybody can do it. So
yeah, a couple of questions that people have had, and I'm going to answer those questions because this is very important. We're going to record these sessions if you cannot be there, so that's going to be important. I also want to show you, before you guys leave today, a sample of other worksheets we're going to have. But a question came in on which I think you can answer, Jackie, is what's different about what we're doing here compared to Dominate Your Market?
Everything, everything, everything. Dominate Your Market is strictly skills and scripts and dialogue for FISBOs and expireds. Power of Prospecting encompasses a whole lot more. And Dominate Your Market is 12 one-hour calls. This is going to be every week. And Bill and I put all of these ideas together. FISBOs and expireds is based on the best practices and the best skills and scripts for FISBOs and expireds only. So this is a much more encompassing program. That's the answer.
Yeah. And so here's an example, a couple of worksheets and scripts. We're going to talk about how to structure a phone call with people, how that is, not just the scripts, but the structure of the call. We have a special expired FISBO scorecard where you're going to be able to track the people so we don't lose it. The other thing too is having a monthly flight plan where you're going to every month focus on an activity, make sure that you don't get into the danger zone, make sure that there's accountability set up, and that when a choice point is where you decide to go down the right road or the wrong road. And I can tell you right now, if your prospect is not where it needs to be, the choice point where you are is not in the right direction. So we want to help you with that and get it to a point where you're making the right choices at the right choice point. And then what we decided to do, Jackie, which is really cool, is that we know that some of you are hesitant at times. That's the nature of this business in real estate. And today I said, be a business person. Don't act like a real estate agent. But for the first 10 people that actually decide that they're going to make that right decision and get with us, we tell them what we're going to do.
Well, I mean, this is very valuable. And Bill and I, for the first 10 people, you will get a 30-minute coaching call with Bill or I. So we're going to split the first 10 and put it on our schedules, and we'll schedule a 30-minute call with you. It's going to be either Bill or I for the first 10 people who sign up today. So, and that call can actually focus on what it is you're needing help with the most so we can get your business moving forward.
And I would suggest that if you sign up today, then go ahead and go to this email that you see down here, info@path2pro. Once you've registered, get to me because I'm going to start scheduling today the 30-minute calls with Jackie and myself. So once you've registered, then you go ahead and email me, info@path2pro.net. We'll get things set up and we'll start to give you 30 minutes. And those 30 minutes are there to help you to understand, where you're going, any advice we can give you, any questions about the program, we're going to help you. But that's just for today, guys, just for today. So we really want you to jump on it because I don't want you to procrastinate. This is a program that is just really a small program that can really do a major thing for you. If you want to sign up, look at this this web address, powerprospecting.qwkc checkout. So powerprospecting.qwkcheckout.com/powerup. I'm going to leave that up for a little bit so you can see that.
Yeah, and here's how to make it easy too. If you go to mapscoaching.com, Maps Coaching, it's written on the screen, mapscoaching.com, you click on the group tab, and then you find Power Up Prospecting. Power Up Prospecting. It'll give you a registration link right there. Somebody's asking the cost. Do you want to talk about that, Bill?
Yeah, the cost is $299 per month, each month for 6 months. There's going to be 24 sessions with us between Jackie and myself together. We're doing 24 sessions with you, 1-hour sessions once a week. So $299 per month. And then we had some questions. Someone says, well, Bill, that's great, but if I could pay up front, yes, there is a discount. Right. If you decide to pay it all up front, it's only going to be $14.95. You get a free month. If some people have the luxury to be able to do that, that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's not a problem. And the material is completely different than anything you've seen before because this is going to be different.
Bill, I see coming up about how is it different than Dominate Your Market? Should I do Dominate Your Market also? Here's the deal, guys. It is completely different than Bold. There is nothing in Power Up Prospecting that you learned in Bold. Okay, it's completely different. And it's also different than Dominate Your Market. There's going to be a FISBO and expired portion inside of Power Up Prospecting. And then somebody said, should I take both at the same time? And you know what I was thinking about, Bill? I had this conversation with a couple of people in the last few days. And you know this, because you and I used to see each other when we were selling real estate.
Right.
When I first started my first couple of years in real estate, and all the way through until I became a coach, I used to spend a good 2.5, 3 months a year in training, whether it was attending, because we're going to do some live classes too, some live workshops Bill and I are going to do, whether it was a live training or it was something over the phone. I used to just, I want to soak it all in, and it's because everything that Dominate Your Market is not going to conflict with Power Up Prospecting. It's different information, and it's all congruent. So you're not going to learn something here and hear something completely different there. So everything that Bill and I are doing and Dominate Your Market, it's all congruent. So if it was me thinking about should I do both, I'd be all over that. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that you're going to find that there's also going to be some ways to use certain techniques so that you don't sound salesy, number one. Number two, that you be able to create influence and authority much quicker on the phone. We're going to talk to you about how to structure your entire business around prospecting by using your words and your mouth and your delivery. There's a lot to this, and you're going to be able to see the differences in what you're doing. The other thing too, just remind everybody that if you have any questions at all, just bring them on right now. I mean, if you have any questions, please ask us today. We've got a couple more minutes that we can stay on with you and answer it if you like. Go to the Facebook page, the Prospecting Locker Room. You can ask questions there, and we're always answering there. You can go on our new YouTube. You can go in my name, but that's going to be changing just in the next week or this week. So we are really, really ready to give you something that you've never heard before that is going to make and transform your business in the direction that you want to take it so that you're not lost. We've been there. We know exactly what needs to be done to help you get better without any magic words, without any fancy things. It's all going to be about your sales technique and your ability to talk over the phone. So need the registration info, please. So again, go to the MAP site and go to the group, or you can go to this right here. Let me just go back and show it to you again. Go right there to powerprospecting.qwkcheckout.com/powerup. That's one way of doing it. You can do that right now. For those of you that want to get into our schedule for the 30-minute coaching session for the first 10, make sure that you go ahead and email us at info@path2pro.net so that we know you did, and then we'll check that out, and then we're ready to go. Nikita says, I got it. I want to thank a couple of you guys that are just asking questions here, which is great. Paula says, when you did the 3 hours prospecting, did you follow up after the 3 hours? Or is it follow-up part of the? No, follow-up is not part of the 3 hours. 3 hours are new people. Tell them about that, because we had a discussion about that recently.
I know. Yeah. No, these 3 hours you are calling people new. These are new prospects that you have not talked to before. Every day, 3 new. And yes, you can do it. Oh my gosh, 3 new. Yes, absolutely. You got to prepare. You have to have the right mindset, know exactly what to say and how to approach these calls, and you can absolutely do it. Lead follow-up is going to be an addition to your 3 hours of prospecting.
Yeah, and we're going to actually give you we'll give you some suggestions on tools you can get on this. Someone said, hey, where's the best place? There are various tools, but let me just say, the tools that give you phone numbers probably is the best return on your investment of anything you can do, because Jackie and I have made a lot of money on people giving us phone numbers. And but listen, don't let that stop you. You're driving around the neighborhood all day long and you see signs and you're not taking the numbers down because you're thinking that's not for you. Well, guess what? In our program, we're going to show you how to do that. We're going to show you how to get those numbers. We're also going to show you how to schedule your day out so that you have the balance that you need, how to present at a high level, how to have influence, authority, and expertise in your presentation skills, where you don't sound salesy, you don't sound pushy, that the consumer goes, oh my gosh, this person sounds different than the person who just called me, because in my opinion, You have to be different today so that you win. If not, you're just
Yeah.
lumped into that other group.
That's right. You have to stand out, and we know exactly how to help you to make sure you stand out. Because otherwise, you're just going to be another agent another of many agents that are calling them. So,
So
all
this
right,
is
Bill.
we got to go. This is the class that we're talking about at Family Reunion. We have other programs that are for higher level things that you're working on that we'll talk later if it's interesting for you. I don't know if you guys would even be interested in them, but there are other programs specifically for people ready to take it to the next level. We want to start here to get everybody involved so that you can start to make money quick and you're happy in reaching your goals. So Jackie, that's all I have.
Very cool. Yeah. Hey, thank you again, everybody, for taking the time today. Bill and I are here. We're excited to be working with all of you, and we'll talk to everyone soon. Thanks.
That's right. We'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.
Later, Bill.